paid left and right this offseason, topped off by Christian McCaffrey's $16 million a year deal. While Kamara is in the last year of his rookie contract, another former Saints running back, Reggie Bush, is back in the building. Acho, need to know this. Would it be smart for the Saints to give Alvin Kamara a new deal?
It wouldn't. And I hate the man I'm becoming. I'm going to tell in front of the world, I'm going to confess to y'all. I hate the man I'm becoming because I used to be so pro player. You know, I hung it up, 4 or 5 years ago. And I was all pro player. But now I catch myself with these jaded thoughts as a manager, Marcellus. I catch myself thinking these managerial thoughts, and it makes me sick. But I got to be honest with y'all. They shouldn't give him a new deal, and here's why. It's not that Kamara's not a beast, not that he's not a stud. It's not that he's not that dude. The problem is I don't want Kamara without having Breeze. And here's what I know. This is more than likely Drew Brees' last season. Next season, if Drew Brees is in a football stadium, he'll likely be in a booth calling games. So do I want to mortgage, to a degree, my future based on a running back, and I'm not necessarily going to have the quarterback that I would like to couple him with? Think about this. Kamar's first year in the league, what did we call him? A change of pace back. Reggie, you know that definition. I, as a linebacker, know that definition all too well. Taysom Hill, what do we call him? A change of pace guy, a gadget player. Do you, as the Saints, really want to have two of your more highly paid players both be change of pace instead of the pace? Because we've all publicly said Taysom Hill's not going to be the future at quarterback, but you're paying him $16 million. Now you're going to go pay Kamara a big deal, but he can't necessarily be the workhorse down in, down out running back. Remember, if you're going to pay him these big bucks, can you put your whole franchise behind him? McCaffrey, #1 in touches last year with about 403 or 407. Zeke, #2 in touches last year. You can build your franchise around them. Okay, let's go to another guy. Saquon Barkley, he still missed the entirety of 3 games, but was #11 in touches last year. Where was Kamara? #19 overall in touches last year. So I'm not going to talk about his game or the fact that statistically it has been declining the last 3 years, because I think that's in part due to injuries and not using him as much and as properly as he should be used. But if you're looking at it objectively, removing our opinions and our biases from it, Reggie, you have to say that it's not wise to give him that kind of deal. Right?
Well, you gave me all the reasons as to why they shouldn't use him, but then you said that it's not because of X, Y, and Z. And so when I look at Alvin Kamara and I look at this offense and I look at Sean Payton, Alvin Kamara is exactly the type of player that Sean Payton loves to use. I would even go so far as to say Sean Payton needs a player like Alvin Kamara, because ever since he drafted me in 2006, he has been signing players or utilizing players that can do a lot of different things. It was Darren Sproles, and now it's Alvin Kamara. And so these are the kinds of players that help this offense go. These are the kinds of players that Sean Payton likes to use. And so if he was just a power back, a guy that just powered up the middle every time, 3-4 yards, then I would say maybe this doesn't fit the style of play for the New Orleans Saints. But it does, and this is what they do. And it doesn't matter if Drew Brees is going to be there or not going to be there next year, because the system will not change. It could be Jameis Winston next year. All I know is that Sean Payton is going to have a plan. Sean Payton is going to have somebody to take over after Drew Brees leaves.
I'm with you, Acho, on this one for different reasons. I just want to highlight some of the question marks. When you talk about giving someone top dollar or even an extension or a new deal, it has to come with a level of certainty. And there are some question marks about the New Orleans situation that leads to uncertainty. Let's start off with the future of this offense post-Drew Brees, future of the quarterback. If you want to say give it to Taysom Hill, he's already 30 years old and, as we said, is a change of pace, gadget type of quarterback. Can you really rely on him to the fullest? Let's talk about Alvin Kamara specifically in terms of he's been declining, whether it's because of usage, the question of that, or the question of his injuries. Is he durable enough? And all of that leads to a cloud of uncertainty. But to just give it to you in athlete speak, because I'm not up here just wearing a suit because I didn't get my hand dirty in the mud, in the dirt. Acho, it's amazing when you've been retired as long as you played, because you've been out of the game 4 or 5 years, you played 4 years. I've been out the game 13 years, and I played 10. You start to look at things a little bit differently. So if I'm Alvin Kamara, I start to look at it like, man, what is going on? So full screen king time, because I'm wondering if Alvin Kamara could keep up in terms of value. Look at this. Let's start rookie year to rookie year versus Christian McCaffrey. Alvin Kamara sitting there thinking, I got him. I'm the best. Look at my scrimmage yards. I got him. Then the next year, it's like, all right, cool, no problem. He beat me. The year after that, last year, he's like, damn, where'd Christian McCaffrey go? Like, you know where he went? He damn near about to lap your butt. That's the thing, and that's why there's uncertainty towards his value. So it's interesting. We know that Christian McCaffrey got $16 million per year as he passed by Alvin Kamara. You know who also caught Alvin Kamara last year? Joe Mixon in terms of scrimmage yards. And he's sitting there at $12 million. So the greater conversation is, not is he going to get paid, but what do you pay him? Do you even pay him more than Joe Mixon, who's at $12 million per year based on these numbers?
I'm going to make a statement, and then, Reggie, I'm going to ask you a question that you got to answer honestly. The statement is very simple. Kamara is needed to win right now because, like you said, whether it was you, whether it was Sproles, whoever the case may be, you need the Saints are so versatile when you have a running back who's a threat out the backfield but is also a threat at receiver. But the question then for me becomes, after the Saints lose Breeze and you no longer have that stout dude at quarterback, aren't they going to have to do some sort of rebuild, Reggie? Because if you do have to do even a minor rebuild, not a major reconstruction, but if you even got to come in and fix the kitchen cabinets, you got to come in and retile them floors, do you want to be tied up to Kamara while you're doing so? Why don't you just try to leverage Kamara? That's my 2 cents.
Because you need continuity, right? You need to have some guys there who understand the culture of the football team. You need to have some guys there who understand what it is Sean Payton is looking for. So that's whether that's Jameis Winston or whether he goes out and drafts somebody, it doesn't matter. You still got to have those players. You still got to have big-time players to make big-time plays on Sundays. So I love Alvin Kamara with Michael Thomas, and you add Jared Cook in there. What quarterback wouldn't want to go to that offense? And then when you were comparing Alvin Kamara to Christian McCaffrey, well, Christian McCaffrey has gotten significantly more touches as those years have gone on. Alvin Kamara does not get those same amount of touches, so you can't really compare those numbers because those numbers don't really tell the truth.
I got to push back, Reggie, and I hate to do this because we just now met, but I got to push back. You said that McCaffrey is getting significantly more touches. You were correct. Statistically, you're correct. But in 2017, Kamara led the league in yards per touch. Number 1 overall, obviously. 2019, his yards per touch decreased by 2.5, and his rank in yards per touch went from 1st to 13th. So if you have somebody who statistically is decreasing, why would you give them more touches if they're doing less with the touches you're giving them? I'm not asking you a bias question. I just want your honest opinion.
Okay.
Like, you got to make that make sense for me.
You're saying yards per touch, right? If I'm a running back, right, and this happened to me. When I was with the New Orleans Saints, I'm not the type of person that can go in and just have 6 carries and give you 100 yards rushing. I need more carries so I can get into a rhythm, right? And so if he's not getting enough touches to get into that rhythm, well, then how can his yards per carry possibly go up? They would have to go down, right? Because, again, if you're Christian McCaffrey, you know you're going to get, 20, 25 touches a game? So you know that you're going to get an opportunity to really get into a rhythm, right, and get into a feel for that game. It is very hard.